I have with me Mr. Diwakar Nigam, the Managing Director of Newgen Software. Thank you so much, Mr. Nigam, for your time. Well, Newgen Software being a big name in the IT sector, what is your expectation from this union budget?
You know, we are a software product company, and software product companies have a unique requirement. You know, they are not unlike the services companies which have become very large. Software product industry is still at a nascent stage, with probably the largest company being under $50 million. So I think the government has to support this thing, and we have been making our representation through iSPRIT. On the other hand, I think we also need support in terms of income tax. And although many of our product companies are there in SEZ, but they are still taxed at 18% MAT. So at least the MAT can be lowered for smaller product companies, if not for everybody else. So I think that's the background. The second thing is probably to encourage the product industry in its early stages. It may be necessary to give us some incentives, and especially if the taxation can be freed up, it'll be a nice, it's a welcome news. And later, see, you know, the product companies, the software product companies are being supported all over the world. You know, like China, they give preference to made in China products. I don't think that there's any such things exist in India, and I think government should seriously look into that and try to promote the products so that if we can try out our products here, we can go and sell all over the world. In fact, my company is selling products in 58 countries now. So I think it's a great success story, and this kind of a success story can be repeated by thousands of Indian companies. And that will be the new era. So, you know, the products are, you know, the software services had a great time, field run. You know, they grew the export to $60 billion, $80 billion today. Now is the time for product companies, and I think we can talk in terms of hundreds of $billion. So I think it's a good time. The government must come and support us, and we are looking forward for lots of these policies to be clarified and the tax reductions to be done. Thank you.
Right. A question here. It is indeed good times. Do you think the government would be able to reach the fiscal deficit of 3%?
See, you know, the country today needs impetus. And, you know, every country does it in one way or the other. I think this is the opportunity for this new government to probably put fiscal deficit on the back burner and look for forward-looking schemes and things so that we can kickstart the manufacturing, kickstart the economy. And once we are at 9%, 10% growth, we can take care of the fiscal deficit. So I think that the important thing is to kick-starting the economy, and that should be the prime concern.
And according to you, which should be the biggest enabler for Digital India? Because so much emphasis is being given by the government for the IT sector in the Make in India campaign.
Yeah. See, I think both of them are very, very important issues. So Digital India is a very important issue. But, you know, it has to be completely covered. The entire range has to come. Just by putting digital, you know, putting the optical fiber and building the backbone, we will not be able to achieve much. So I think the next stages of building good systems and good workflows established where people can really come and put their requests and they can be executed, the transparency can be built. So I think the whole system is needed. It's just by putting the digital backbone, nothing much will happen. So I think Digital India is a long-term plan, and putting the backbone may be the start of it, but I think the whole lot of processes, automation of processes, building the transparency, building the accountability is what is needed to ultimately get benefit of totally Digital India. Make in India is, I think, is a more appropriate area, and there is no shame in promoting our own industry because ultimately we have a task of providing employment to millions of our young people who are coming out. So if we are talking about that India has a lot of young people, if we don't provide them proper employment and proper jobs, then those young people will go waste. So I think it's a very, very important issue. And manufacturing, Make in India, is the only initiative which can provide that kind of employment generation.